After my rebirth, I awakened the pregnancy swap system. I immediately used it to swap the unborn litter of a pregnant sow with my half-sister's baby. In my previous life, she had slipped infertility drugs into my meals, leaving me barren. Then, she seduced all 3 of my betrothed and got pregnant with triplets. Through her schemes, she had me thrown into the most depraved beggar's den outside the city. The day all 3 of them broke off our engagements, I became the laughingstock of the entire capital. My half-sister Jennifer Moss was heavily pregnant and made sure to rub it in my face. Blame your own useless body for not giving them children. Unlike me, I've got 3 in here. I died on the streets, where thousands spat on my corpse. When I opened my eyes again, I personally delivered all 3 of them straight to my half-sister's bed. I brewed a pot of plum wine with my own hands. I know it's nothing special, but I wanted to share it with everyone today. Fiona, would you do me the honor of trying it? Jennifer Moss stood before me, her face full of false sweetness as she held out a cup of wine. I looked at her delicate, harmless smile and could not suppress a shiver. In my previous life, Jennifer had tricked me into drinking this very cup at this same spring banquet. Only my cup had been laced with infertility drugs that left me writhing in abdominal pain. The physician rushed to treat me, but he could only shake his head. Ms. Fiona, your sudden miscarriage has damaged your body. You'll never be able to bear children again. Jennifer immediately burst into tears. Miscarriage? How dare you spread such lies? Fiona is an unmarried young lady. How could she possibly? She argued on my behalf publicly, but behind the scenes, she bribed my maidservant to step forward and claim I had been sneaking off to the Velvet Rose. The Velvet Rose was a brothel where male courtesans serviced wealthy women. No matter how I tried to explain, it was useless. They branded me a whore. My 3 betrotheds immediately announced they were breaking off our engagements, turning me into the laughingstock of the entire city. Then, they threw me into the filthiest beggar's den outside town as punishment. I endured violation after violation from those filthy beggars until I finally died. After my death, my soul drifted back home, and I learned the truth. Jennifer was a transmigrator with a fortune system. She had seduced all 3 of my betrotheds into her bed. With her pregnancy, the 3 men spoiled her rotten. Using them as her backing, she forced my mother to drink poison. After Mother and I died, she brazenly seized Mother's dowry, stole everything that was mine, and became the matriarch of the Moss household. She even had our bodies thrown into a mass grave to be devoured by wild dogs. Thinking of my past life, I could barely contain my towering hatred. Looking at Jennifer's innocent smile now, I wanted nothing more than to lunge forward and cut her into 1,000 pieces to avenge myself. Still, heaven took pity on how miserably I died in my last life and gave me a second chance. They let me come back to deal with these 4 scum, and I even awakened the pregnancy swap system. Seeing that I had not responded, Jennifer's syrupy voice rang out again. You don't think it's terrible, do you, Fiona? I'm not very good at making wine, but I picked every plum myself. I chose only the best and largest ones and spent 2 whole months preparing this. She looked pitiful and even managed to squeeze out a few tears. Before I could respond, my 3 betrothed stood up with darkened faces. Quinn Hartley pointed at me angrily. Fiona, what are you acting so high and mighty for? The other 2, Liam Kent and Grayson Dash, joined in accusing me. Fiona, do you know Jennifer almost fell from a tree making this wine? If you don't want it, fine, but don't insult her. They were trying to force me to accept Jennifer's cup. In my last life, these people were the ones who caused my miserable death. The 3 of them had been raised in the Moss household since childhood. If I had not elevated them to the position of betrothed wards with comfortable lives, they would have starved to death on the streets long ago. Now they were pressuring me for the sake of an illegitimate daughter, completely disregarding my dignity. I smiled coldly and took the cup of wine. How could I possibly look down on the wine Jennifer made herself? But this wine is too precious for me to enjoy alone. Pour a cup for everyone. Why should I suffer alone when we could all suffer together? After all, the wine was laced with infertility drugs. Seeing that each of my 3 betrotheds had a cup in front of them, I drained mine first in one gulp. A flicker of panic crossed Jennifer's face. She tried to stop the 3